How excited are you for another Red River rivalry going back to the Cotton Bowl? How exciting is it for you?
It's really exciting for me and us as a team. Second time. Last year was, besides the score, obviously, was a good experience, because I've grown up, watching that game. And I'm excited to have my second opportunity there. And, we're working really hard, treating it like every other week, obviously, but it does mean a little more. But I think that, the team that we have is different than last year. And I think you're going to see, a lot of different things that we're going to do. But overall, we're all excited, and we're just preparing just like any other game. So.
You said that the team is different than last year. How so?
Yeah, obviously we have a lot of transfers. I think we have like 60 new guys. So just profile-wise, just a lot of new guys and a lot of just new skill that's being added that we didn't have last year. So.
What are you saying to Caden, Walter, any of these guys who weren't on the team last year, first time for them going into this game, this environment?
I'm just telling them to get ready. It's one of the loudest environments I've ever played in. I played in some loud ones when I was in California, Autzen and Oregon and all the places like that. But honestly, I think this was the loudest that I've been a part of. So I think just being prepared for that and just, not letting the outside noise, of, the fans and stuff really interfere with our preparation process.
I know last year wasn't the outcome you guys wanted, but just in terms of the experience of being there and feeling the environment and knowing what all comes with that, how helpful was that, for you guys?
It's helpful for us just to know what we're getting into. Like, I know that when we get on that side, that orange side of the field, that the ground's going to be shaking, and we have to be extra in tune to our, our audio calls, especially on the snap count. And I think last year we got in trouble with that, but we just got to be in tune to that because it was really loud, and I think the ground was shaking when we were down there, especially in that red zone. After we're deep in that area, so.
Okay, 5 games in, how well are you guys playing as a unit right now?
I think we're getting better every game. I think our protection has gotten a lot better. Obviously, the run game needs to be improved. I think that we have 3.8 yards a carry. It needs to be closer to 5.6. But I think guys are buying in more to the process and listening to Coach B and all the technique that he's, pouring into us. And our preparation process as far as film is going is getting better week by week. Especially last week, I think was our best week preparation-wise as O-line. So I think it was good for us.
What goes into that preparation? Is it communication? Is it a lot more technique than?
Preparation, really, for the most part, we get a lot of technique from Coach B at practice. But it's really, getting into the tape, the cut-ups and all that stuff and going, day by day watching the cut-ups that we're supposed to for the situations that we'll have in practice. And then as a group last week, we were getting in, before the team meeting and then, watching as a group. So then before the O-line meeting, we kind of already had an idea what Coach B was going to talk about. So that was a step up for us last week, so I think it really helped us.
What kind of test is the Texas defensive line? I think they're known to be pretty good.
Yeah, they're obviously a good defensive line. We're going to prepare just like every other week, but obviously there's some different things with them being bigger guys, and just we need to be tighter with our technique. We're not going to get away with bad technique and just using pure strength like we have a couple times. I mean, I've said that a lot, but I think, this week especially, we need to be tight on that.
How much did playing a couple of elite guys in Cincinnati help you calibrate to what you're going to see on Saturday?
Yeah, those guys, they were obviously a tough group. They're really strong. I think it's going to be similar to that. They're going to be a similar group. Obviously, they run a little bit different front, but those two interior guys, number 2, number 0, it was Briggs and Corleone. They were a good, test for what we're going to see this week as well.
How important is it to win at the line of scrimmage this week, with how good that defensive line is?
This game is always, comes down to the lines of scrimmage. I think we got on both sides of the ball, offense and defense, the game's going to be decided on the lines of scrimmage. So if we're able to move those guys and our defense is able to knock back that O-line, I think that's what is going to and has decided this game most years. I think it's going to be the same thing this year.
Against Alabama, that D-line, I think they got 5 sacks, and it kind of seemed to make the difference. How important will it be to keep Dylan clean?
It's going to be very important to keep Dylan clean in the pocket. I think we've done a good job these past couple weeks, past couple games, and you can see we're able to, get the ball out. Just giving Dylan time to go through his progressions is going to be important for us this week, but especially being able to move guys in the run game will be a good complement to that.
What would it mean to you guys to come out with a win this week?
Yeah, I mean, it's just one step closer to our goal. Our goal is to go 1-0 every week, obviously, but some of the bigger goals that we have, it's just going to be, another stepping stone to those bigger goals. The bowl games and championships. I think this week is a good stepping stone, and will be a good progression if we get this win this week.
What did you find out about playing in this atmosphere last year that's maybe going to help you this year get ready for it?
Yeah, I found out that obviously we talked about the noise, talked about just what kind of different environment it is being half crimson and half orange, right? I think understanding, like I said, once you get deeper and deeper in that territory, your instincts and you're not going to be going out verbal calls anymore. You got to really be in tune to watching, the safeties or whatever, instead of, listening to Tyler saying out or whatever. Like, I'm going to have to start seeing it once we get deeper and deeper in there. So I think understanding that part of it, I've been stressing it to a lot of guys that down in there it's going to be impossible to hear. And we just got to be, tighter on the just instincts and just our having good eyes and things like that.
McKade, I know this might be kind of an obvious question, but you talked about wanting to improve things in the running game, get that yards per carry up a little bit more. Maybe how important is it to not only for the offensive line to be in sync, but for the running backs to be in sync with you guys in terms of improving, that running game overall? Yeah,
overall, I think the running backs have done a good job, just working on setting up blocks, for our double teams, or if we're going up on linebackers, just setting us up to where, like, we don't have to outrun the linebackers. They can be set up, and basically the running backs can take them to us, and then they can bounce it out. So I think, having the running backs in tune with us, I think they've done a good job. But, obviously we can get better, and that will help the running game also.
How much has that maybe been a discussion the last couple of weeks, and making sure, both parts, backfield, you guys are in sync?
I think it's unsaid. I think DeMarco's doing a good job of explaining that to them, especially when we're out here doing our scout work. You can hear him say they got to set us up a little better, and make sure that they're putting the linebackers on, so the safeties or whatever. So I think DeMarco's doing a good job. He does. It's not so much us having to talk to them about it, because I'm not going to tell a running back how to run the ball, obviously. So, but I think DeMarco's doing a good job, and that's going to help.
You should. That'd be interesting with DeMarco.
Yeah, right.
As far as this just being another game, I know that you guys say that you want to treat it like every other game, but is that hard? Realistically?
Yeah, it is hard, especially, around campus and all the outside noise. But I think, the good teams are the ones that can block out all of that. And if it's a nameless, faceless opponent, like we've treated the first 5 games, it's not going to matter who we play as long as we, are focused on the DNA of the team and their schemes and things like that. It doesn't matter who we play. We could play Alabama or Texas or whoever. And I think the outcome will be the same no matter who you play or depending on the game, so.
This is obviously the toughest game on the schedule right now. What are you looking forward to learning about your team and the guys in this locker room on Saturday?
I'm looking forward to learning about our physicality and the way that we can, run the ball. I think, I've been saying this, but, changing the line of scrimmage is going to be important. And I think that's what we need to learn about our team is that we are able to do that. And this week is going to be a good test for us.
McKade, I remember seeing Brent in the press room afterwards last year and thinking, man, I don't know if he's been here before too often on the wrong end of that kind of a score. What was your observation in terms of how that,
last year?
Yeah, how that cut to Coach V's?
I don't, as a team, I don't really think we're thinking much about last year. It's a new team. We need to focus on what we're doing now and how he's approaching this game. I'm not going to really go into, that because I wasn't really around that. I didn't really see anything out of him. I didn't really watch the press conference or anything like that. So
let me ask you this then: his intensity is a little unique, I think, even for a coach. I know most coaches are that way, but can you give me a sense of your observation since you've been here in terms of whether his runs a little hotter, is it just general intensity?
Right. Yeah. No. It's hard to tell if it's higher this week or whatever because he's always on go. Yeah. I think he's always up here. I don't really know if he can get any higher than he is all the time.
Right.
So I think this week it's the same. It's the same as every other week, like I've been saying. But he's always right there, and him staying consistent with that is taking pressure off us. He's not making this a bigger thing than it needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I think him staying consistent with his preparation, his coaching is what's going to help us. So
thanks.
Yeah.
McKade, you mentioned run game, run blocking, but you guys have been great pass blocking all year long. What is it about this offensive line that's enabled you guys to be as good as you have been protecting Dylan?
Yeah, we've. I think we have a lot of skill and a lot of length on the edges in Walter and Tyler. I think that helps us and they're really athletic. So guys, it's hard for guys to speed rush. And then on the inside three, me and Andrea played together for a while. So us being able to bump off twists and blitzes, and just sometimes not even saying anything, but us being able to feel it has helped. And obviously, whoever is playing left guard, Troy, Savion, or Caden, I think it's just going to be important for us to be more verbal with them. But other than that, like just having, the camaraderie that we have as O-line is what has helped us.
What's the challenge that Texas's defensive front presents?
That they are, they're good. They're a good front. They're big and they have a lot of moves. They're not, one trick ponies. Obviously, they can do a lot of things. They can bull rush. They can use hands. So it's important for us to understand how to attack those.